Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of paper 1. Variant 2 of A level score is 9700. It's a May June 25 paper. So we have already discussed 14 questions in another video. Let's start from question number 15. After a heart attack, the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase leak into the blood plasma from the damaged heart muscles. So, what is required to measure the activity of lactase dehydrogenase activity in a sample? So, what do we need? We need to have a certain time period, like the incubation period, definitely, to check whether they are working, and we can also take help of the amount that is calculated at the start and the product that is formed. So let's see what is required. Sterilization of blood plasma by heating, no. If we heat it up, definitely the enzyme is going to get denatured, so we cannot measure the activity. Number two, incubation of sample with substrate for lactate for dehydrogenase, yes, we need to give it some time. Incubation of sample with lactate dehydrogenase inhibitor, no. If we add an inhibitor, able to calculate the activity, so inhibitor should not be present. What is the correct answer? The only correct option is C then. Which graph shows the Km and the Vmax, like where the velocity is the highest, the rate of reaction is the highest of a graph. So which graph is going to represent this? It would be like, okay, Km cannot be calculated like this. Km is the is measured by the rate of reaction and concentration of substrate. So the only correct option is this one, B1. So some people say that why this cannot be correct, like they are calculating km here, but the question is because students get confused in these two, so they try to understand that what is there, but keep in mind, the concentration of enzyme is not going to change, it will remain constant, so definitely that is not going to be the correct option. Next question is, cell membrane become less fluid as the temperature decreases. Why? Because it has that structure that become a bit hard. So bacteria and yeast cannot regulate their cell temperatures. How do bacteria and yeast maintain the fluidity of their cell membrane when the temperature increases? So first of all, we have done, you must have read this in the unsaturated fatty acids, that the unsaturation actually increases the fluidity of the membrane. So if the unsaturation is present, then it is going to be more like fluid. Number one, the increase in the number of unsaturated fatty acids in the phospholipid molecule, yes. Number two, the increase in the number of saturated fatty acids, no. It is actually making it thick. Number three, the increase in number of cholesterol molecules, yes. So the only correct option is A. So 17A. Number next, 18. Sample XYZ are epidermal tissue cut from an onion. Each epidermal tissue was immersed in one of the three different solutions for a certain time period. So definitely one will be hypotonic, hypertonic, would be like this, something like this. So they have shown you a scale, and then after 30 minutes, the result is like this. So what do you think is the concentration of solution in um, Y and Z? So if you look at the Z sample, you can clearly see they are fully filled with water. Is that clear? In sample X, yes, there is water, but uh, it's not that much hypertonic condition in which the cells swell up, or there is more turgidity or the turgor pressure. Next says that, okay, the sample y you can see this darker one, this vacuole has become lesser in size. So this sample y is the most concentrated and z is the most dilute, and this would be named as, let's say, isotonic, near to isotonic, because it actually fills the vacuole with water but not much, up to that extent. Okay, so let's see what is their concentration sample y. Sample y is related to the most concentrated, so it would be R. Sample z is the most dilute, so it would be P. So the correct option is D. So the next question, the graph. The graph shows the result of osmosis investigated using potato tissues. Here we have used the onion one in the upper question. Here we are using potato tissue. So definitely, if we increase the concentration inside the cell, there would be more. There would be more water move inside the cell because water tends to take in more water with it. Salt tends to take in more water with it. What is the concentration of sodium chloride solution that has an equivalent water potential at which it is like it is almost equal to like both quantities are equal. So I've given you some here. Okay, so to this potato tissue, and what is correct about the movement of water at that point. So this is the point where we see that it is equivalent. Uh, both are equivalent, so it would be around 0.37 and there would be no net movement of water. Next one, some cubes were was sorry some agar was colored pink using a pH indicator. So the indicator is not given to you, what is it, whether it would be phenolphthalein or what. Okay, next one is the pink agar was then used to make three agar cubes with different dimensions. So it's two, it's 2 into 2 into 2, and its volume is 4 into 4 into 4, its volume is 5 into 5. So the cubes were placed in a beaker and covered with this solution. The temperature of the experiment was standardized, like kept constant. Hydrochloric acid diffused into the agar cubes, causing the cubes to become colorless. What is the surface area to volume ratio, the agar cube that become colorless in the least amount of time? So this one has more, we can say, surface area, so it is going to get more time. This one is going to have like a medium one, let's say, and this one is going to have the least one. So we say when the size is smaller, there would be more surface area, or you can say there are more, there are less particles over here and there are more particles over here. So lesser hydrochloric acid is required to neutralize this one, while more is required to neutralize this one. So what can be the answer where the first one is the highest one? So the only correct option seems to be this, where the first one is the highest one. Let's move to question number 21. So, what is MCQ 21? The diagram shows the arrangement of chromosomes with attached spindle fiber during a stage of mitosis. Okay, so if they're aligned on center, they can be metaphase, and they can also be on anaphase. So, how do we determine whether it's metaphase or anaphase? Now, look at this centromere very carefully. If this centromere is connected like this, if both chromosomes, like both sister chromatids, are attached to the same centromere, it would be metaphase. If they're not attached to the same one, they are separated one, then it would be anaphase. So it can be A or it can be D. So anaphase, chromosomes are being pulled toward the centromere. No, they pulled away. So sister chromatids are pulled towards the poles of the cell. Yes, they are pulled towards the opposite ends. The next question says, during which phase of the cell cycle does DNA replication takes place? So we have already mentioned that metaphase is characterized by the arrangement on the equator. Anaphase is characterized by the separation of those sister chromatids. So where does DNA replication take place? Definitely before the prophase, which is mostly the S phase. So it will take place in S phase, the synthesis phase, which the name indicates there's something is synthesized, that would be DNA. So DNA replication takes place. How many, human body cells in interphase have 46 chromosomes. What is correct about the number of telomere So these are present, and what are telomeres? These are present at the end of each chromosome. So when the cell divide, these telomeres actually are lost. So when they are lost, there is like deletion of some characteristics or some genes. So if these telomeres are not present, then so it can happen that very important information related to cell can be missed if it is deleted from the chromosome. So uh, this one is quite important, and if we keep on losing telomeres, there comes a point when our chromosomes are going to get lost, and that results in aging, or it can affect our different systems. So 23 says, okay, what is the correct about the number of telomeres present in the prophase? Okay, in prophase, everything gets multiplied. It is for very sure. So if we have 46 chromosomes, so on both ends, we have telomeres. Like if this is a chromosome, here and here we have telomeres. So 46 into 2 is 92. We have 92 telomeres. So answer could be C or D. So if if they are equivalent like they are mentioned in C, then it will definitely going to result in the loss of information. So there would be 184, there would be doubles to prevent the deletion of important information.